The first humans on Earth did not look the way most people imagine. They did not have pale skin, light eyes, or delicate features sculpted by cold climates. They were born under a brutal sun, on a continent where survival depended on protection, adaptation, and resilience. And that sun would quietly shape the story of humanity forever. Long before borders, before nations, before the idea of race even existed, Africa was the cradle of our species. Every human alive today traces their deepest ancestry back to this land. And the reason most Africans are dark-skinned is not mystery, myth, or accident. It is one of the most elegant survival stories written into human biology. To understand it, you must first imagine the world as it was hundreds of thousands of years ago. Early humans lived exposed lives. No sunscreen, no clothing as we know it, no shelter from the relentless equatorial sun. Survival meant hunting, gathering, and moving across open landscapes where ultraviolet radiation was not an occasional inconvenience, but a daily threat. Sunlight is life-giving. It allows the body to produce vitamin D, essential for strong bones and immune function. But too much sunlight is deadly. Intense ultraviolet radiation damages DNA, breaks down folate, a vitamin critical for fetal development, and dramatically increases the risk of skin cancer. For early humans living near the equator, this was a constant danger. The solution came not from intelligence or invention, but from evolution itself. Human skin contains a pigment called melanin. The more melanin you have, the darker your skin appears. But melanin is not cosmetic. It is protective armor. It absorbs and disperses ultraviolet radiation, shielding the body's cells from damage. In regions with extreme sun exposure, individuals with higher melanin levels were more likely to survive, reproduce, and pass on their genes. Over thousands of generations, this survival advantage reshaped the population. Africa sits directly beneath some of the strongest sunlight on Earth. As a result, natural selection favored darker skin, not because it was better, but because it worked. Dark skin preserved folate, protected DNA, reduced disease risk, and increased reproductive success. It was biology responding to geography. And here is the first twist in the story. Dark skin is not a uniquely African trait. It is humanity's original condition. The earliest Homo sapiens were dark-skinned. Pale skin came later, much later, when some populations migrated out of Africa into regions with weaker sunlight. In northern climates, too much melanin became a disadvantage. The body struggled to produce enough vitamin D. Over time, lighter skin evolved to allow more sunlight absorption. In other words, Europeans and some Asians became lighter because they left Africa. Africans remained darker because they stayed. This flips one of the most persistent myths in human history on its head. Dark skin is not a deviation, it is the default. Another layer of misunderstanding comes from the idea that Africans are a single, uniform group. Nothing could be further from the truth. Africa is the most genetically diverse continent on Earth. Two neighboring African populations can be more genetically different from each other than either is from Europeans or Asians. Skin tone across Africa varies enormously, from deep ebony to copper, bronze, and light brown. Coastal populations, desert dwellers, forest communities, and highland groups all show subtle adaptations shaped by local environments. Even within the same family, skin tones can span a wide spectrum. So when people ask, why are Africans black? The question itself collapses under scrutiny. Africans are not one color. They are a vast mosaic shaped by climate, geography, and time. Then came history's most destructive misunderstanding. When Europeans encountered Africa during the age of exploration and colonization, they did not see biology. They saw difference. And instead of understanding it, they weaponized it. Skin color was transformed from an adaptation into a hierarchy. Pseudoscience emerged, claiming dark skin meant inferiority, while light skin signified intelligence or civilization. None of it was true. Modern genetics has dismantled these ideas completely. There is no biological basis for race as a hierarchy. Skin color reflects only how recently a population's ancestors lived under intense sunlight. That's it. No hidden meaning, no moral implication, no measure of worth. In fact, dark skin has advantages that modern science continues to explore. Higher melanin levels provide stronger protection against ultraviolet radiation and lower rates of skin cancer. Dark skin ages more slowly under sun exposure. It offers resilience forged by environments that demanded it. And there is something quietly poetic in this truth. The very trait that was used to justify oppression is the same trait that allowed humanity to survive its earliest, harshest conditions. Africa did not produce dark skin by chance. It produced it because life there demanded excellence in endurance. Today, we live in a world where people move freely across climates their ancestors never experienced. Technology has softened nature's demands. Sunscreen, nutrition, medicine, and shelter have blurred the old survival boundaries. But the story remains written in our skin, a living record of where our ancestors walked, how they lived, and what they endured. So when you see dark skin, you are not seeing something primitive or separate. You are seeing ancient intelligence. You are seeing adaptation refined over tens of thousands of years. You are seeing the original human design. And perhaps the greatest irony of all is this. Every shade of human skin, every color that exists today, is a variation of Africa's legacy. Because before humanity spread across the planet, before skin lightened, diversified, and changed, before history divided us into categories, we were all African, and we were all dark.